got a request to do a video on counter steering. I can show you counter steering at high speed like this because I'm on the interstate, and I think on the way to work I can show you when your bike does not counter steer. So I guess I'll go ahead and do a little thing about that. Counter steering can be summed up: you push right, you go right; you push left, you go left. And I don't know if it varies from bike to bike, but on the Rebel here, right around the 20-mile-an-hour mark, like 22 or so, that's when I can counter steer. That's when it kicks in. Otherwise, it just behaves like normal. You push the wheel, well, whatever direction the wheel is pointing is where you're going. So I'll give you a little example here. Alright, my left hand here is no longer on the controls. So if we push right, we go right. If I pull it in towards me, I'm going to go left, but you can do that push left, go left thing. And it's really great for just zipping around, because it's a lot faster than to just say, I'm going to lean my body and the motorcycle's going to go in the direction that I'm leaning. That works to an extent, but not good enough if you want to zip around objects on the road. And just to give you a peek here, what can happen if you counter steer around. These people behind me are probably going to think I'm nuts, but well, let me make sure it's not a cop up here, because they like to sit up here. I don't need a question like, we pulled you over because we thought you were drunk. I usually sit on the median on that side, on the left side here, right after the trees, and it gets you on the downhill. But anyway, alright, some people can't like to practice with the little dots on the road. I do that from time to time, but this is counter steering. Pretty much drop pretty down low if you want, and go back and forth, yada yada. Usually when you hit it, it takes a second or two before you start going in that direction. Actually, it might not even be that long. It might just be like a couple tenths of a second before you get a response. And pretty much how much you do, like you can counter steer just a little. See, this is just a little. Or you could be extremely, like, really hardcore, like I'll show you here. And you can zip way over really quick. But it's all, if I push this way with my hand, see that? I go to the right. I hope my camera's catching this. Push right, go right. Same thing happens here on the left-hand side. If you push, you go that way. That's pretty much what counter steering is. So you should practice it till it becomes second nature, because it comes in really handy. Like, you never know, someone's gonna like unload a bunch of wood or whatever they have tied down on their trailer, and it just comes flying at you. I had to dodge a trash can the other day. Didn't have my camera though. That would have been great. And road gators, you know, tire straps are all over the place. You never know when you're going to need to dodge something like that. But on the way into work here, I'll show you how a bike behaves normally. Because a motorcycle only responds like this when you're going faster than like 22. And that's my bike. But you'll notice it, because if you end up going to the right with your wheel and your bike starts turning to the right instead of doing a bunch of leaning, then you know. And they're doing big time construction down here. I finally got around to looking at the Georgia Department of Transportation website. They're spending $191 million to widen this part of the freeway where I'm at right now. They're also redoing the ramps up here for Bobby Jones Expressway. A lot of money. But they're widening this out a little bit. They plan to have it completed in 2010. And they have 2 different contracted companies working on it. Sometimes when I get off at work around 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll see some of them, usually like right around in there. But this was 3-lane right here, but they knocked it down to just 2. So everyone has to pile in together. It tends to slow things down. And they always like to put cops here anyway. This was before they started doing all the construction. A lot of dusty. What is this guy doing? Counter steering here comes into play too. See, there's all kinds of uses for counter steering. See how I'm pushing right, I'm going to the right. I got mad leading angle right now. It's great. Put my blinker on. This guy's gonna mess my entrance up. I can't be zippity. We'll get behind this black semi. No, I mean SUV. He's not that big. Let me just counter steer over. I think a lot of people know how to counter steer, but they just don't think about it. But one of the reasons I was at the Georgia Department of Transportation website was to complain about this signal light right here. This left-hand turn, it doesn't matter what kind of mojo I try to use to get this thing to flip. It will not turn over its signal and let me go unless a car is behind me. It just can't pick up the weight of my bike. I like the magnetic ones because at least I can play with them a little. So I get stuck here. And when you might be possibly late to work and you get stuck here and you have to sit through the intersection again because there wasn't a car behind you the first time, that sucks. And don't respond to this YouTube video with comments on, well, you should try dropping your kickstand or starting your bike or get magnets on your bike, because I know all those tricks. I have a magnet on my bike. This one goes by weight and my bike's not enough to trip it, unfortunately. So I submitted a thing on the Georgia Department website, so they'll adjust it for me, make it more sensitive. That's the second light I had to report like this. I should have reported this one long ago, but I've just been kind of dealing with it. What I hate about this light also is this side right now that's going, the ones that are turning left and they'll go straight too, they run red like crazy. Like it'll go red and you'll still see like 4 or 5 waves of car go through and everyone's just sitting here waiting for them to finish. Which shortens this light, so if you ever back a little bit, kind of left. But see, this is just normal left turn, your bike is pointed to the left because you're under speed. There's no counter steering right now. Now I can counter steer, so woo! And with all this construction, it even influences side roads like this. I don't know why they have these 2 big, huge steel things, but I just like to go right in between, like so. And you can also have fun counter steering and stuff like this. See, normal bike behavior when you're going slow, wherever your bike is, your front wheel is going, that's the direction you're going. See, there's no lean here. It's just, you're just moving. See, I'm just pointing where I want to go, and that's where I'm going.